Dungeon Doom
I
Hands.
got nothing
Let's
there.
talk lore.
And that's when
a podcast.
That's when we left the castle, Naglin's castle.
Yeah, well, Naglin could show up too. All right, so we just spent a time period talking about Elder Brains. We created an NPC for this encounter or battle, essentially, or that we're going to be playing on Monday, next Monday.
Yeah.
Roll high and subscribe if you are just joining us now. Hit that button wherever. I think it's over here. Anyway. So we're going to build an encounter together. So the encounter where we left off was there's a Ceramorph Elder Brain Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are on your way. There's a time portal that you guys are trying to get to. You have the blue skull that you came back in time to steal during our epic time heist. There are 2 Mind Flayer colonies attacking each other.
Yes. Okay. Well, there's one that's there, and the other one that's attacking it.
We'll have like an upper hand on knowing the area and surroundings, and maybe playing a little bit of the magic crystal game. Maybe they have a little bit of more equipment. But the vessel colony is attacking. They want to get the blue skull because they think it is going to prove that the world is flat.
I love it.
So that's their goal. Their Elder Brain is trying to convince the Strezzel Elder Brain is trying to convince the Vessel Elder Brain that the world is flat.
And he thinks that the blue skull will help him do it.
That's their whole colony goal. Every now and then, because Jake is a Ceramorph from the Strezzel after he rolled that, I'm going to have him just because he's going to try to convince the group every now and then that the world is flat. It's going to be hilarious. That's funny. But that's not what we're talking about. I got derailed. Encounter-wise. So, what were you thinking? There's 2 of it, but I don't know how to run that.
The encounter that we're coming to is we have 15 minutes to get from where we are to a portal. In between us is the Elder Brain Dragon that we ran from. And I know you said some Mind Flayers were there.
You guys are 15 minutes away from the portal.
Yes.
You guys need to go get back to the portal.
It's noon, and we have 15 minutes to get back to the portal, and we have to get back there before 8:32 p.m. Yeah. So we have 8 and a half hours to get back. And so you're saying there's 2 Mind Flayers, so you could have it be where we come around and we see, you already had it, so we see the one and some of the other Mind Flayers around. But like what we were talking about before, is some of those Mind Flayers might be controlled by the other Elder Brain. So one way you could have like a first round of like them being their normal characters, and the second round you roll to see who they're going to fight for. Like some of them turn on themselves and they...
Right. So
and then they maybe, round 2, they get attacked from some hidden tunnel, since the vessel colony knows the surroundings. They can come out of like some secret area.
Yes. So the way I had it was, and I'm not sure if the lore came through in the last lore drop about the Mind Flayers, but the way that it was supposed to run was you guys came across the vessel colony Gray Elder Brain, who was a descendant from the vessel colony. And if you were to have a family tree, the vessel colony is the parent of both the vessel colony and the Alpha colony.
Strezzel and Alpha.
So the vessel colony Elder Brain, and we don't have to get too much into the lore, but broke off from its ancestry and became its own thing with peace in mind. And the Alpha colony was going to be its new colony, but they got killed because of this invasion that's happening right now. So, in the grand scheme of things, right now in the world the Alpha colony, that's why it's called the Alpha Ruins, not the Vessel Ruins of Strahd.
Okay, so now I understand. So the Vessel colony is originally all of them together, and then Lumerthric, the head of the Vessel colony, was going to try and break away from some of the others because he was feeling
peaceful,
a fight in there, and he wanted peace, and he didn't want to fight them for the peace. So he left and was trying to find his peace here and form the Alpha Colony as a place of peace on a let them go. So their place of peace is on a round world.
I don't think they're related. I think the Vessel Colony started to be peaceful towards the gnomes of the town and realized that it could maintain and grow its colony by being nice and trading and supportive of the gnomes. Mm-hmm. And the gnomes in turn would offer up some offspring and some elders to the Mind Flayer colony for transition, and they each benefited from each other.
Right. So I think you're going to have some gnomes in this fight too.
Originally, the Shrezel colony and the Vessel colony were together. Someone in the Vessel colony overheard that the Earth was flat, and somehow through transformation into an Elder Brain of some kind, it decided that its only goal was to spread that word. The Vessel colony being peaceful has nothing to do with it. So they're in a peaceful town, living harmoniously, and all of a sudden, a random Mind Flayer colony shows up, and they're blue, and they're like, "The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat." It just starts taking over, looking for the blue skull that you guys have. The Earth is flat. I'm gonna write that down. The Earth is flat. In the Mind Flayer and Elder Brain, I do remember that like certain species don't take to the transformation so easily. So what it could be is that after they broke away, or the other people who didn't want to be peaceful kept fighting and killing people, and then they tried to take over a sky dwarf. Wow.
And maybe dwarves can't become Mind Flayers in our world. And they tried to take over a sky dwarf and sort of had a brain, or had sort of like a seizure, or had an issue that went all the way back to the Elder Brain, and now all they care about is their world's flat.
I love the fact that the world flat is going to be in the sky and in the ground. The encounter, though.
Yeah, so I think you're going to have...
going to be to tell everyone and convince everyone that the Earth is flat, as well as obviously procreate and spread its colony. And the goal of the Grey is going to be to maintain peace with their town. So they would protect the Elder Brain and protect the gnomes, I think.
I think some of the fight in this fight.
Benefit. That's how we'll do the benefit. That's how we'll give it for the area.
Yeah.
Is through the gnomes. Because you remember, there's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of characters and a lot. There, you're gonna have 10. You're gonna have a screen where there's 10 Mind Flayers going up against 10 Mind Flayers. And then you're gonna have another turn for the gnomes. I'm not rolling all that math.
No,
and I'm not doing it on Google either.
Do sides. You don't even have to do like a true fight on that. So you can have each round, like if they're going to be fighting each other,
you guys are going to have a hard time. I want to make it, but
you want to make it an obstacle course for us to have to get through.
Right. I want that short mile to feel 15 minutes. I want to make it feel like 3 hours, because that's pretty. We're going to do 2.5 hours of gameplay, maybe 2 hours of gameplay. Those 15 minutes are going to be, unless you guys go back and which clear through the portal, or not.
So what's coming to my mind is an image of a movie of like someone in a battle, and they're like running through this battle. Game of Thrones, where like Arya Stark is walking through the city while explosions are going off all around her, crazy stuff's happening. So you could have your fight going off in the background, and not necessarily them targeting us. Or maybe targeting only the person with the blue skull, and that makes us have to pass it around or something. But you can have a bunch of random, not necessarily puzzles, but like things that are happening around. Like, all right, there's a random mind blast in this area, so someone may get stunned. There's a random, all the abilities that the Mind Flayers have. You're like, okay, we're gonna have 3 of these go off this round, and then they're gonna be let's place these random places.
I'm going to have Mind Flayers fighting Mind Flayers, and you guys have 15 minutes to get to the portal but I'm going to have 10 mind flayers, and they are going to, on a roll, all of them do a mind blast. And it recharges every 5 turns. And those minutes will add up. Because if 10 of them shoot a mind blast at an area, it's going to do a significant amount of damage. But it's also going to stun you for multiple minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll work with time in there. And they're both going to be doing that. Both sides are going to be doing that.
Well, I think if you have 10 people, roll a d10, that many mind blasts go out. Yeah. All right, however many that is, okay, that's subtract that from your number. Next round, roll a d whatever, however many are left. That's how many mind blasts go off. And then you have your countdown at 10 or at 50 or whatever, 5 minutes, they all reset. Slowly throw them out there over time.
So it's going to be a time sequence. That'll be how, I don't know if I spoke with you. Actually, did I speak with you about this? About running encounters for Dungeons & Dragons? It's like creating a reason to do... What the hell is it called? Not player engagement, but it's like, now you have a time. There's a specific time period in which you're there.
Yeah,
so it's very
creating urgency.
Player urgency, that's the word. That's my dysnomia in full effect right there, guys. Player urgency. So time is huge. And what's funny about this is that this is our 9th session in the time heist, and it doesn't feel like that. Because the player urgency has been like, there's always been
we have something that we have to do at this time, so we have to hurry what we're doing to get there.
So I'm going to cap it. Well,
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you a hint. We are going to sprint as fast as we can to that portal, trying to avoid as much as we can.
Right.
So this fight it's not going to be just like clustered in one area. It's going to be a long, drawn out.
They can float. It's not like you can't just run and dive. They're all over the place.
There's a 3-dimensional craziness going on.
I can't wait for that.
Mind-based.
And they also have spell casting size. So I got to do some. I'm going to do a roll. I'm just going to create just one for spell casting. I really don't ever play with a person with spell stuff. I'm
Marshall. And here's what you can do so you say you have 20 total mind flayers.
Yeah.
10 and 10. Each round roll a d4. That's how many from one side go to the other.
Oh, wow.
Or roll a d6, and if it's an odd, they go from the blue to the gray. And if it's even, they go from the gray to the blue. Swaps every time.
And then what if... I'm interested to see, because, this could turn out that, like, your small little interaction in this town causes the Alpha mind flayer to survive. When we go back to the future, I am completely comfortable and fully prepared to weave into our story the fact that the Alpha colony is there, and if you guys get there, I mean, you have to get there with the Blue Skull, essentially.
Yeah.
If you get there, you're going to have the Blue Skull.
Well, if they survive, we're probably going to have the Blue Skull.
But if they convince the other side that the Earth is flat, you guys are fucked. You guys are fucked. So I'm going to have a roll, and I'm going to have one person roll each time. Because, like, the Elder Brain, the Blue Elder Brain, only wants to convince, his only goal, other than not dying, is to convince the other Elder Brain that he is wrong and that the Earth is flat.
So you're going to need a perception, or not a persuasion. Persuasion against insight.
Right.
Well, you can do like every 5-minute round that you're going to do, 100. If we get 100, he convinces them. Or if they get above a 90, they convince them or something.
Maybe we'll lower it every
time.
Go down by 5. If it's
go down by 5.
Above, 95 or above.
Yeah, and then 90 or above. 85 or above is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That'd be 3 rolls.
Okay.
So, and we're going to be racing to get there in that as fast as we can. Yeah. So we're talking 3 to 4 rolls most, maybe. And it is a full-on battle, so that's a small chance for him to convince him. We get him and be like, the world is flat now.
And he's like, arrest them. And then you roll to convince him? That would be very funny. Okay, so we're gonna have this war going on essentially, but there isn't that. I'm gonna try my hardest to not make it a combat.
Sort of like a skill challenge through another fight.
Yes, you can certainly interact. Their number one goal is to convince the Gray Elderbrain that the world is flat. They do think that having the blue skull would help with that.
Yeah, but it's not like a requirement for them.
And the dragon knows you have the blue skull.
Yes.
That's the only person.
Well, knows that Aranis or Ignis have the blue skull.
Does the Elderbrain then know? Because
if he fails his
right
his save on that,
don't think the Elderbrain would come to this, knowing that
the blue Elderbrain.
We'll just think about it though.
Not while the fight is going on. I don't think he'd jump in when the fight is going on.
The gray skull. I mean the blue skull.
Yeah.
And there's an Elderbrain there, but he can still try to convince him.
Oh yeah.
I'll have him show up and he'll plane shift. So I gotta build the I can't wait to just have a screen with 2 brains on it. I'm gonna cut to it every now and then.
Cut to it for the roll.
I do also like the idea of cutting away, and this is just now this will be a little addition that I think might cut the combat and make it a little bit faster paced. Mm-hmm. If we were to cut to the 2 brains and you guys need to debate who one team, maybe two of you are blue, 2 of you are gray.
Here's what you can do, and not just 2, just
based on
each time you cut there, rollies, whoever's highest gets their choice of blue or gray. Whoever's lowest gets the other, and they have to convince each other. And then that can sway the outcome of the next. And at the end of that, we do the D100 to see if they're convinced.
Okay.
Arguments. The
highest their partner is their partner in the debate.
Yeah. I like it.
But it can change every time.
That's why I'd like, make it roll to see who gets it. Yeah.
Okay, and then when you win the debate, the benefits are, I think losing the debate, there will be a consequence of some kind. And it may be, what should that consequence be?
The consequence is you're stunned. Well, like, what's the main thing happening around in that fight? Mind blasting all over the place. The penalty is you got caught in a mind blast. Because they're probably going to be stacking up.
Yeah, that's true.
So having someone stunned, it's going to immediately force us to stop our movement, try and figure out what's going on with them. Either try and pick them up and carry them, which is going to slow us down, or shake them out of it, or cast a spell, or do something. And it's 2 people we're doing that, so it's half the group. So if we just try and drag them, we're half speed for the minute, or however long.
Yeah, but you guys are close to it, so maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe whoever wins the round, the loser. No, the loser takes damage. Loser takes the damage. Loser takes the damage from the. Loser gets to split the damage between the two teams of the bigger mind blast or whatever. You can't do that because it's like, look at this. It's 22 psychic. Yeah, so
22d whatever something.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Well, it's the other thing is you don't want to. There has to be a benefit, because if you do a penalty, then coming out of it's going to be a penalty for everyone, both sides, whether you win or lose. So if they're stunned, the people who win are going to have to deal with the other people. So I think a penalty isn't a great incentive to try and win, because once you come out, you're still going to have to help the people who are penalized anyway.
Break. We'll just have the helmet break
And if you happen to roll high and win every time, then you still keep your helmet. I like that. Because we've been protected this whole time, or your helmet falls off or something.
That's awesome. Okay, so
and then if you lose a second time, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are going to take. I'll probably do the mind blast every turn, because it's not directly targeting you, but you're going to be in it. You'll do like half.
No, we could do the roll. We can do the save, and
it'll be less than 22,
Of
of course. And maybe it's going to be like 8. You're going to take 8 damage. Everyone takes 8 damage for being prone.
And the other thing that you could do is how you're figuring out who gets flopped to the other side of Mind Flayers. Whoever wins the debate, they get the more Mind Flayers.
Oh wow, they have advantage. Oh wow, so Strezzel colony has advantage. The different colony that won the debate has advantage on their rolls. Wow.
Let it be about the battle, not about the players. I like that.
Okay, so what if we also put up a boundary where, let's just say, like, you have your debate and you won 5 in a row. You won 5 points. They all become...
Well, say we win the first debate and Gray is going to get more Mind Flayers over. Roll your D whatever, that many go over. So you have, say, 13 Grays and 7 Blues. Gray wins next time. Roll your D4, they get 3 more. So you have 16 Grays against 4 Blues. And then Blue wins next time, roll your D6.
That they're trying to get to.
They're trying to get to 20. I think if they get all of them, because if your Elder Brain is so strong that you've gained the control of all the other Mind Flayers there, I think that's the goal, is to try.
Yeah, because once they realize that the Earth is flat, then they start believing that that's the goal of their being. So, what's the number? So you're gonna have 10 of each, and then
if you have 10 of each, and your goal is 20. Say that the number that swaps is a D4 every time to stretch it out a little. So the debate happens. Whoever wins, roll that D4. You add that many to that side, subtract that many from the other.
Yes. Okay. Do you think a D4 or D6?
Well, because a D6 it could be over in two sessions, two rounds.
Okay, you're right.
A D4 you're at least guaranteed 3. If you win every single time and you roll max, it'll take you three debates to get there. You don't want it to be done in 2. And ideally, you want it to keep going the whole time, going back and forth. So a couple at a clip.
Now I'm going to be the judge, though, of who wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to set up my own table.
Yeah.
And it's going to have check marks on it. And if each team, I'll describe this to them, if each team hit that chord, you get a check during your, if you don't, that's it. I will then reveal the score sheet after the session. But I'm not going to tell you, like, okay, mentions a color and says space. It'll be something cooler than that. But know your DM.
Oh, so you're going to basically have your bingo board.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice, I love it.
Either. I don't want
Mind Flayer debate bingo.
I mean, again, when you run a Elder Brain, and I think this is like a little summary space for the Elder Brain, and I think for other larger all-knowing creatures, the less detail in the like power or like the Elder Brain knows everything, and he thinks he's the smartest person. Does he know everything? No, but he doesn't need to know everything. And I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm getting tongue twisted, is that the way that I'm going to run the Strezzel is how I would recommend running all-knowing creatures. And I wish I had done that a little bit with the Kraken. I did it a little bit with the Kraken because, to me, I thought the Kraken was the closest you're going to be to a god without being a god, and he only wanted items. So his whole idea, his whole goal was to just get the most powerful items you could get to probably push him over the line to becoming a god, which never really worked. But for the Elder Brain, I think that sort of simple, the word was simple goal of convincing people that the Earth is flat is perfect. Yep. It doesn't need to be more than that. You don't need to have like a big colony. There's millions of people and all they have their own stories. They want to convince, they're like a cult that wants to convince the people that the world is flat.
Yep.
And if they are flat earthers, they have advantage in their city while they do their shopping and whatnot. They can have one of those pistols. I think that's awesome. I was way overthinking it. I was way overthinking stuff. Like today, I was like, "Damn, how am I gonna voice and?" We could do voice real quick for Phil and Elder Brain, but I was like, "How am I gonna do all this stuff?" I think the Elder Brain voice it speaks a language that no one knows,
except King Lolo.
Right, King Lolo. But what? How do? What do they?
What do they sound like?
The Elder Brains. I think they communicate to. They can communicate images and stuff to people, right? To
telepathically, I would think so. That they could
speak common.
They can communicate well enough to paint a picture in your mind. An Elder Brain has that amount of control telepathically, I would think.
Yeah, and again, like role playing and voicing, simpler.
You don't need
the Elder Brain. One simple goal, which is to spread the word and convince people that the Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat.
You're going to ask him a question about the day or whatever. He's going to answer like, yes, no, the Earth is flat. That might be it. He might, if he doesn't know, his response is going to be the Earth is flat. Like you don't, script. That's it. That's so cool. I'm excited.
I'm excited for this encounter, this battle, because it's
crazy.
We're walking into a war zone.
So let's just see real quick. Blue and gray. Pick up your D4. You have a D4?
Yep, I have a D4 right here.
Bait and blue 1. Roll me a D4.
Okay. That's a 3.
So blue 1, and so let's see. And then here I'm gonna do win or lose. Evens, odds it's blue wins, and evens it's gray wins. It's an odd, so blue 1 again. Roll me a D4.
A 1.
It's an even.
Oh shit, that fell. That's a 4. That's all 4 back.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. So it could be 2.
Yeah. Well,
great.
Ideally, you want
to. Yeah. So
ideally, it hovers around that area, but it can sway one way quickly. The bait thing, so it's not a random chance of what side's going to get more.
Yes, that's funny. I like that. So the last question I have, I guess, is so you're going to have the mind flares, and they're going to be shooting mind blasts. So everyone's sort of going to have to roll for movement. Movement. So that's what I have to get down. So roll for movement. Well, no, they're going to move. Then you're going to get mind blasted.
Well, I think we're going to have.
Everyone's going to have their turn.
Well, I don't think we're going to need. From the way you're running, I don't think you need a turn, like an actual combat turn order.
Yeah.
Running it. I think run it in sections. Yeah, no initiative, but run it in, or maybe initiative just for us, of like when we're telling you what we're doing, just so it's orderly. But 5-minute blocks. So you're talking like first 5 minutes, roll how many mind blasts go off. Then we have the debate, and you roll how many swap. But before and after we do that, because then you have that whole 5 minutes concluded, then or before that, we tell you what we're going to do. Or say they do their mind blast, we tell you what we're going to be doing for that 5 minutes, we do our rolls, then we have the debate, and then it progresses 5 minutes. So like, we're going to try and hide. All right, so for 5 minutes, we're hiding. So we roll our stealth, roll deception, or whatever else we're doing, cast our spells. We have a little bit of flexibility with the time of what we're trying to do. But it's like, that's a 5-minute window of what we're doing.
So we're going to roll for...
And if we say we're just going to sprint straight for the thing, all right, you're going to get hit with 5 mind blasts.
Right.
So if you're going to hide and dodge or protect yourself, all right, your distance that you can run might not be as far. So say you have a 15-minute run, say you only ran 3 minutes of that, of your normal 5 that you would be able to get to, because you were cautious. So it's going to delay how long we go.
Area up into zones. I might make it a little bit longer than... I just might change the unit at which you can travel.
Right. I think that makes it easiest with like less specific role, like being very strict on roles.
Do your initiative, and it'll be a gray, blue, you guys, and then
mind flayers.
It's like there's only 3 people, so it's gray, Gray mind
Well, and I
flare, blue
think
mind.
if you have it, your gray mind flare, blue mind flare, then all of us, and then you have your cut to the debate.
Yes.
And then after the debate, we come back to gray, blue, and that's when you already have your swap of who's going to what side after the debate. And then we run through that again. I like that.
So we're gonna roll initiative at the very beginning. I'm gonna roll
Mhm.
2 for. You guys are gonna roll 1, essentially, and whatever one you get on the D4 is your number.
Yeah.
And then I'll do
Yeah.
the same thing, whatever. No, let's roll D2s, whatever. So you're gonna have gray, blue
Us.
players, and then cutscene.
Yeah.
What if when we come back, once we go through the order, we re-roll that initiative again? That way you might have back-to-back cutscenes.
No, I don't think you do
Too much.
the initiative.
You leave the.
I think you leave the initiative. The
The cutscene's always at the end.
cutscene round,
Yeah.
initiative 0, cutscene to the debate. And the debate, we have to have a strict time on that because that thing will run for a long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're a timekeeper. All right, 1 minute to this side, 1 minute to that side. Done. 1 minute to this side, 1 minute to that side. Done.
1 minute is a long time.
Oh, you got 2 people who are going to be talking. But like in that debate, so maybe the whole debate each round takes 8 to 10 minutes.
So you'll have the gray guys go, the blue guys go, and then the team will go. That's going to be normal order, normal happenstance in an encounter. Then you're going to have a cutscene. The cutscene's going to take how much time?
Then do 2. You don't need 2 rounds. Do initial. Let's do just like a debate. Initial argument to one side. Rollies who goes first. They get 1 minute. The next people get 2 minutes. The third person gets 1 minute response, and then you're done.
Player character time is spent during
In the
that
debate?
4th session debate.
That
Because you got 8 hours. So if you want to chisel away at some of that, maybe.
No, I think that time is the time spent in that debate is separate from the time spent of us traversing for the war. I mean, I think you can have stuff where it adds in buffer time of like if we both suck at our arguments, saying, "All right, you both fail." There's an extra roll, a d6. How many more minutes that you're gonna have to take to get to the portal or something?
Maybe we'll put maybe for every minute that the debate takes, it's a certain amount of time in the game because you guys get 8 hours. It's long, and I mean, you're gonna get blasted by.
Well, the fact that we have 8 hours is all because we rushed to have as much time as we could to get out. So that's a outcome of all the past sessions. I don't think penalizing.
That's true.
I mean, you could have it however many minutes we're debating, that many more mind flayers come. I actually like that. Put your stopwatch on there, and however many minutes we take during that debate, that's how many mind flayers get added to each side.
No, I like the rolling. I like the roll.
Yeah,
that's so much better. Yeah, you're right.
Well, just have it be included.
But because you guys ran through, you're already penalized. You guys don't have a long rest, so you guys are there, and is about to die. So there's a lot of that. So the penalization of losing. So you're gonna roll, and the other side is gonna get whatever team wins. That colony
side is gonna get
more from mind flayers
from the other side.
They reach 20 mind flayers. The war's over, and something happens. Like the blue is going to come after you. Or,
that's for you to figure out. I don't want to know.
That's its own thing.
That's your homework on that final one.
Loses their helmet, and now the helmet right now is
every debate. Whoever loses, you lose your helmet.
Yeah.
If you still have it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you the power to the helmet. Not. And then the next time you can gain it back, right?
If you win, you gain. No, I'd say if once it's gone, it's gone because we don't need them anymore after here. I mean, it's a helmet protecting us from influence of the mind flayers. But say, well, maybe after that, it's a roll each time to see if we get controlled.
Come up with a number. What I'm going to do is on the mind blasts, you guys are going to take 4 damage, and then if without a helmet, maybe you'll take 8.
Or what's the roll for that mind blast? Is it a save?
Area must exceed a DC 15. Oh, so maybe you do disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage on the roll. Or if you have the helmet, you have advantage on the roll. And if you don't have the helmet, it's just a normal.
22.
Do that.
22 is a lot.
It halved is 11.
Just because you get mind blasted 10.
It's still only 1 damage, yeah. Because you're only getting hit by one of them.
That's gonna be funny because every turn you're essentially looking at almost 20 minutes. So that's the time. That's a time urgency right there. You guys are gonna get mind blasted by at least 20 different mind flares every turn.
We only need to make 1 roll though, right? Well, if you succeed, you take half and you don't get stunned. So hopefully,
if you succeed, you take half.
Yeah, and you're not stunned. If you fail, you take all and you're stunned.
You must succeed in intelligence saving throw or take 22 psychic damage and be stunned. Yeah, you're right. So disadvantage.
Instead of going disadvantage, you have the helmet, it's advantage. You lose the helmet, it's normal, because that's what it normally is anyway.
All right, before we end this one, we'll do a quick. This was good. I really, really like this one because this is going to be a funny encounter that people can actually watch play. This is going to be really good. Very homebrewed, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just really quickly look at some HP of this group right now.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, it's awful. My HP is not good.
See. We got Booterbot.
Yeah, and he can heal people. Thanks.
Aaron has 59. Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna.
I just healed Aaron up a crap ton. Stag and Booterbot. Where's the? Because Ignis and Aaronus should have at least 40 each. Because we healed them up to
about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I hide in the back because I'm.
Yeah.
I was a tank for 3 characters. I'm not a tank anymore.
Now let me ask you something. One last thing. Sprock is a Shrezel Colony Mind Flare.
There has to be something special for him in this fight. He's a disadvantage on everything.
He has advantage on everything when the Shrezel Colony is leading.
Wins the debate. I love it.
8 players of the Shrezel Colony. He has advantage on things.
But not necessarily more of them. If the Shrezel wins the debate for that next round, he has advantage on everything. If they lose the debate the next round, he has disadvantage on everything.
I like that. That's good.
Because that changes round to round, and the first one's plain.
So, okay. So that was 4 turns. We went back to 10. So let me just see something. So 1 is blue, and that's 2.
Well, don't roll to see who wins. Just go all on one side. Roll your d4 a bunch of times.
2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
That was 5 rounds.
Okay. So there's going to be a lot of rounds. Which is fun.
Well, not necessarily, because we might get out of there before that happens. And then we do the debate. After the debate until someone wins.
That's really funny.
I think that's how you sell this war is keep having us debate and rolling to see who goes.
That's really funny.
Because we're already out of the timeline.
Yeah, you could also put a bottleneck at the very entrance there, and I could just have a lot, or just like a big. Maybe the Elder Brain is sitting there. Maybe the 2 Elder Brains are there. Let's settle this diplomatically.
Right here next to this random portal.
And there's no way you guys would win against 2 Elder Brains.
I'm full health, or mostly full health. But I have 1 spell slot left.
But 2D. What is it? 4D8. That's insane. So that's 7, 12. Wow, 17. 19 plus 4, so that's 20 damage a turn. You're looking at about 16 damage, maybe 15 damage per turn, I think. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more.
Average.
Yeah. But is that going to be per for the group? Or
I think that's per person.
per person. Yeah, that's
Well, I mean, depending on what they do on their turn. Like if someone's going to hide, I would think that
it's per person because you have to you
have
you
your
can
saves.
succeed.
Yeah.
But the one last thing I want to do though is every now and then. No, maybe there doesn't need to be any encounter. If it gets slow and like tedious, I can always just cut off and you guys have a fight with a mind flare.
Well, I think everyone is happy to not fight someone right now.
Yeah.
I think we were just like, all right, let's get out of here, run, long rest, and then recoup and figure out what's going on. And then we came to the Elder Brain Dragon. So I think from my understanding of what all the other plays are, we're terrified of everything and we're just going to want to get the hell out of there. I think it's going to be chaotic enough that we're not going to be bogged down with like, all right, this group of people are fighting these people. You see all these blasts over here. These group of people are going to fight back.
Yeah.
All right, what are you guys doing? We're like, oh shit. All right, you guys are done? All right, cutscene. Let's go here. There's going to be so much going on. It's going to be hard to not be focused.
I really like this idea. That's going to be very funny. And Jake is hilarious. So if the blue wins, advantage.
Yeah, I love that. You have to reveal it by like, if Jake rolls, I'm like, oh, roll that with advantage. Oh no, for this round, roll with disadvantage.
So we don't have to necessarily include this in the podcast, but I'm so interested in it. It's gonna be hard to leave out. Now let's talk lore real quick of the dungeon of Agoth Doomhand and the Skulls of Power for the campaign we're making.
Yeah.
So Doomhand has been after this Mind Flare from the Strezzel colony because the Mind Flare currently has that in the timeline. Had that skull in his brain. Doomhand took it and ripped it out. The skull was just a little item that they put in with power. Anyway, if you guys altered time here, and the Alpha colony survives, and the Strezzel colony doesn't survive,
I think the way you have it set up,
so fun. Teleportation to a blue brain, like that could happen.
We come out and the Elder Brain's there. It's like, give me the skull.
Yeah,
the doors are
right. The Earth is flat.
Then we gotta run from that Mind Flayer or that Elder Brain.
It's like the Elder Brain's like, ask Loxodon about.
We go through the portal. We go through the portal where our characters are time stands still until we resolve the debate to see who comes out at the end. I love it.
No matter what happens, the debate has to.
I think if no matter what, if we take the skull back, Doomhand's not going to have it. So I think you're gonna have that paradoxical time travel paradox of like all of a sudden he looks around, it's like he remembers getting it, he remembers killing the person, the Mind Flayer, the sage, but he doesn't remember. He remembers taking something from the skull, but doesn't remember what it is, or what he pulls out of his bag is a piece of skull.
Yeah, he has a rock.
He has a rock.
You guys,
or he just has a plain blue crystal.
You guys also have the ability to convince people that skull. You have fake blue skulls.
Skulls. Yeah.
I do like the idea, though, if it gets down to it, and I think it might.
Last for an hour.
Of getting the blue skull. I'm sorry, getting them to debate. If it comes down to it, I think we have to kill Aranus. Sorry, guys. You know, Aaron talked shit in our group chat about how he, gets away with a lot of stuff because he's better than the DM, so on and so forth. At playing the game, so now I have to kill.
You don't have to kill him.
I'll take an arm for an arm, Jeslyn style.
A new breed of bat may come flying around in the Underdark, because that's where we're going back to. A new breed of bat attacks us as soon as we get back.
That's very funny.
All right, so we create a new monster, giant bat.
That's so funny, giant bat.
Giant Mind Flayer bat.
Yeah, I wrote down. I think we have this recorded because I wrote down Earth is flat, and then I wrote gray blue players, and I wrote cutscene. We're good. That's it.
And you got it. You remember it.
That's
remember, like, subscribe.
Yeah. Cool. I will copy this encounter and somehow, I guess I'll post it in the comments. I will make this encounter tomorrow during the day, and then I will post it in the comments because that's pretty
nice.
Cool. It's really easy to write this down.
I think we simplified it a good bit.
I'll have a little background on the blue and gray mind flares. Roll your own names because that's fun, but you can play this encounter. If it's awesome, use it whenever you want. We're gonna play it on Monday, 7 o'clock-ish, 8 o'clock-ish.
I think around 8-ish.
Yeah.
Because of our new addition, West Coaster.
Booter is. I gotta have two of these NPCs make an appearance. Booter has his character's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Lone Star was a baller.
How does he have 18 on his Constitution? That's great. Plus 4? I've never had plus 4 on anything. This guy, he's a tank though. That's his thing.
Yeah, you had a hard time killing Lone Star. Well, he's higher level than Lone Star was.
What do you think next time? Should we talk maybe about the Blue Skull? Maybe we should have one session on some sort of lore.
We could do the lore skulls of the ones that we found, because we have 3 skulls that we found. We could do the lore of the red, the lore of the green, the lore of the blue, and then we built the stages.
Notes on that. I'll simplify that. If someone were to comment a topic, I would 100% talk about that. That's for sure. Cool. Roll high and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
This is Rena. Rena rolled low during death saves and didn't get healed by his group. Don't be a Rena. Roll high and subscribe.